Round 2 for a bill to abolish the death penalty. Good evening, I'm Alex Birsch.
And I'm Mary Catherine Dolan. Capital punishment is under the microscope after Stephen Hayes was given the penalty in the Cheshire home invasion case. Some want to speed up the process, others want to get rid of it altogether. Nicolette Carney has the story.
Coming up tonight, parents are being encouraged to keep better tabs on their kids. Believe it or not, the unemployment numbers are down. With their final mission complete, astronauts from the Space Shuttle Discovery are happy to be home. These stories and more coming up next on QNN. And I'm Mary Catherine Dolan. After years of living on contaminated land, Newhall residents are looking forward to the remediation plans for the area. Luciana Razier has the story.
Thanks, Bobby. Connecticut Governor Dan Malloy hears your cries about his budget plan and wants to appease them. The governor is requesting the maximum local property tax be credit to $300, down from $500. Also in the proposition, anyone who makes $1 million or more will be asked of an extra $1,000 in taxes. The legislators' budget committees vote on the changes next week.
That'll do it for sports today. We'll throw it back to Alex and Mary Catherine at the news desk.
Thank you, Tom. Coming up next, a program instituted by Yale New Haven Hospital is giving Connecticut residents a chance to give back. This story coming up next on QNN.
And that wraps it up from the CNN World News Desk. Back to you, Mary Catherine.
U.S. stocks moved sharply higher today with sentiment lifted by strong jobs data and a drop in oil prices. The Dow went up 204 points, closing at 12,271. And from fraud to fun, spring break is coming up and many students are going on cruises. While piracy recently cost 4 American lives, spring breakers should not worry too much. Ann Paulson has the story.
And that'll wrap it up from here. We'll send it back to Jenna and Mary Catherine for a look at stocks and weather.
The U.S. stocks are feeling the aftermath after the rise in crude oil prices and increased prices at the pump. The Dow decreased by 193 points, closing at 12,019. The NASDAQ also took a drop by 42 points and closed at 2,007. Teachers in Springfield, Massachusetts received some unpleasant news at last Thursday's school committee meeting. Over 1,000 public school teachers in the city have been overpaid a combined $1.2 million since the beginning of the school year. The teachers were told they would have to pay the money back in a repayment program. The school's payroll department is responsible for making the error. Superintendent Alan Igram called the mistakes unacceptable. Because of the troubling economic times, parents could be more concerned with the safety of their wallets more than anything else. But as Rebecca Turco reminds us, an East Haven Alert branch is continuing their duty of keeping the kids safe as well. A Middletown Superior Court judge ruled that a dog will accompany an inmate in prison. Kathy Cotta, who is hearing impaired, will begin a 4-month sentence for driving under the influence. The dog alerts Cotta to certain sounds, which is an important protective skill. The Black Labrador must be up to date on its vaccinations, and Cotta will be responsible for paying for its food. A prison spokesman said the facility has never had a dog before. Coming up next on QNN, the release of the new iPad is just around the corner. And think twice before you accept that friend request. Tips to protect yourself from identity theft. These stories and more coming up next on QNN. Change can be good or bad. In the case of the Hamden Police Department, change is a great thing. As Peter Umbriana tells us, after waiting a few years, the move into the new facility cannot happen soon enough. An art space in New Haven allows aspiring artists to work on walls as well as floors. The unique project encourages experimenting and creativity. The result, one giant collective work. Bobby Tutelo has more.
Greater New Haven senior centers that feed the elderly are feeling the pinch. That's because previous management tried to dine and dash with their nutrition budget. Rebecca Turco has more on the sacrifices senior centers have made due to mismanagement of funds. And Orbitz is sued by American Airlines for raising prices. That story and more after this break. We'll be right back. We hope you had a chance to enjoy the beautiful weather today. If not, don't worry. We have a warm weekend ahead. Taking a look at the Doppler radar, we see clear skies and a beautiful Thursday in Connecticut. For Alex, Tom, Sam, myself, and all of us here at QNN, have a good night and a great rest of the week.
That concludes the news for this evening. We appreciate you joining us, and we hope we'll see you next Thursday on another QNN Cast.
For Mary Catherine, Nate, Samantha, and all of us here at QNN, have a good night and a great rest of the week.
For Jenna, Tom, Sam, and all of us here at QNN, have a good night and a fun and safe spring break.